Welcome to Shriners Children's New England here in Springfield. Now, you may have driven by the building behind me many times before, but if you've never needed their services, you might not know much about them. But for the thousands of children and families they treat here, the men and women inside have been changing lives for 100 years. And while there are locations across the U.S. and in Mexico and Canada, this one right here is special because it's right in our backyard. There's been a facility here on Carew Street since 1925, and today Shriners Children's is an international and much beloved healthcare system, having now treated more than 1.5 million children regardless of their family's ability to pay. The network of Shriners Children's has grown from its humble beginnings. Still, though, the goal has always remained the same, as simple as it is profound: to change and improve lives. And here in Springfield, they do that day in and day out, one child at a time. The story begins 100 years ago, when the Shriners, the men with the red hats we see in parades, decided they wanted to create a philanthropy to take care of children with orthopedic conditions primarily associated with polio, which was common at the time. The rest is Shriners Children's history. We talked with Lee Kirk, Melha Shriner and former administrator at Shriners Children's New England, about the history and evolution of this hidden gem right here in Western Mass.
The location in Springfield was the 8th facility that was opened in 1925. There were 60 beds, 30 beds for boys, 30 beds for girls. And it was in many aspects a home away from home for these kids because they came and stayed months. The average length of stay time that a kid stayed in the facility was about 66 days back then. It was just still the same model for years and years and years. Then as things changed and grew, there was a need to update and build a new facility. So in around 1990, Shriners raised millions of dollars to build the facility that
we have around us now.
In
In 2023, the facility transitioned from an inpatient hospital to an outpatient clinic. Same services though, so if a patient needs surgery, Shriners Children's New England surgeons perform that surgery at a nearby healthcare facility. The model has changed, but the care is still top-notch, and the mission is alive and well.
The vision of Shriners Children's is to be the best at transforming the lives of children and families. And I had the privilege of being in this organization for 7 years, and so I got to see that every day, how the lives are transformed. About 7,500 unique kids are cared for each year, regardless of a family's ability to pay. It's a happy place. Kids come in here with some of the most incredible, challenging medical issues, and they're happy, and their families are happy.
Care made possible by doctors like Lael Ledke, the medical director at Shriners Children's New England.
The focus of our services here at Shriners Children's New England is pediatric orthopedics. And that encompasses actually a number of sub-areas within it in terms of hand surgery, spine surgery, care for kids with neuromuscular conditions, limb deficiencies. And then we also do a number of other services, including urology, chest wall deformities. We do cleft lip and palate care here. An increasing area of service we provide is actually in the world of acute injuries, such as sports injuries and fractures. We are making ourselves available on short notice because, of course, those things aren't planned.
Now, some people may have a misconception that medicine is a one-size-fits-all, but you really have to specialize when you're treating children as compared to adults.
Well, it's a completely different mindset, for one thing. An adult is done with their growth, they're not changing, whereas kids change radically, obviously, from the time they're born to the time they achieve adulthood. So we not only have to treat what's appearing to us in front of us in clinic that day, but also think of how will things work and look 5, 10, 40, 50 years down the road?
It's understandably a specialized form of treatment that requires a special kind of doctor, the kind you'll find right here at Shriners Children's.
I think that that's been one of the best parts of being part of a large system, is that across the country in all of our locations, we have people who are some of the world experts in some very niche kinds of problems and conditions. And so being able to call on that knowledge and expertise really feels like you're not having to function without a net.
Clinical expertise combined with compassion is what you'll find at Shriners Children's New England.
Everyone understands how fearful it can be to go to a physician's office or get testing done or have a procedure done. And so the more that we can make it a comfortable experience for kids. We're fortunate to have child life specialists here, and we even have a therapy dog. We really try to make it a one-stop shop if possible. And so that's why we not only have clinic providers, but they can go immediately over to our prosthetics and orthotics department if they need bracing or some sort of prosthetic. We also have then physical therapy available in the same building, and we can collaborate very carefully. And these are therapists who are really specialized in taking care of kids who may have experienced an amputation or they have an underlying neuromuscular condition. Those therapists are not found very readily out in the general community. You know, it's so hard when you have a family who has a child with especially special or complex needs. They can just spend their whole lives going from appointment to appointment to appointment. And if we can take a little bit of that off their plate, that's a win.
That's also a part of what makes Shriners Children's New England so unique. That child-driven, family-focused, wrap-around care. As administrator, Dr. Frances Marthone explains, it's a century of service they provided to our area and beyond. Service they plan to continue well into the future.
We're proud to be embedded and rooted in Western Mass. The community is a big part of our story. We serve children all across the region and across the country.
And what's next for the next 100 years?
Well, the next 100 years, we will continue to do what we do, specialize in treating children. We want to hopefully continue to grow the impact we have in the community. We want to enrich children's lives and provide services to as many people as we can.
You're making a big difference here, aren't you?
Every day.